Hello, hi, I'm Nico, and I'm here with my colleague James on a Jitsi call. And we're looking at the Atom repository page. We would like to walk you through the installation and show you the new awesome features we have built in the last months and the last year. Today we have just published a new release candidate of the next version 0.10.1. And I will go to the release page and just scroll through to the bottom and pick the file for my Apple Silicon Mac, ARC64 DMG. So you want to go with the Atom launcher files, the CLI files. You will see later, but you want to start with the launcher. We have macOS and Linux. For Linux, you can pick CUDA or non-CUDA. If you want to run local AI and you have an NVIDIA card, pick the CUDA version. Okay, I picked this one. Save it. And open it. And I'll just start the Atom launcher file right from the DMG. There we go, open. Okay, so this is the setup wizard that we greeted with. So just a quick word. Okay, what is Atom? Atom will run a node which runs in the background, and similarly to maybe like a solid pod, it's storing your data. It includes Holochain and several other bigger projects like Dino, Scalability, Prolog, and so on. So it is meant as the local backend for Atom apps. It hosts the user's data and keys. So one of the first things that we will have to do here is put in a passphrase for our the keys that represent us as a user and as an agent. We will have to enter this password again when unlocking and starting the Atom node. So, and then what we can do here as well, just as a first step, is it's optional to add in some personal data like a username and first name, last name. This is data that, like all data in Atom, all the different Atom apps will have access to. So you only need to put this data in once and apps can access it. So I will put in my username Luxus. Next. So this is now one of the new features of this release compared to our last major release last year, or 0.9, is the local AI integration. So here you will have to choose if you actually want to run local LLMs or if you want to run LLMs remotely, either on OpenAI or Llama. So I have Llama running here locally as well, so I can maybe pick this and just show you. This will connect to Llama and show the models that you have there. You can also say, nah, I don't want to use LLMs at all. We would anyways install Whisper and the BERT embedding model, which are small and should be fine running also on smaller devices. I have an M1 MacBook Pro, 3 years old. I will go with local. Hit next. Finish the Atom setup. So now the setup wizard disappeared. We have this little thing here which tells us that Atom is running in the background and we have the system tray icon here. And clicking it brings up the Atom UI. So what now? It gives us a button, shows a button try Flux, which I will click now, which will open the Flux URL in the browser. Actually, I will quickly have to, because we just did some experimentation, clear the site data, so I have a really fresh, you will not need to do this if you haven't used Flux before. Reload. Okay, so what do we see now here? So first of all, this Flux URL is our development deploy because this is still a release candidate. And this, what it opens here is our Atom Connect library. This is a library that we provide for Atom apps to easily connect to Atom. One mention here first, if you use Brave or any other browser with shields, if I would have turned my shields on, Atom Connect would say, hey, I can't connect to Atom. So either you need to download it or maybe try again. It also says here, if you have shields, that you need to deactivate those, because what's happening here is the local Atom node basically is the backend for Flux. Brave shields would usually not allow to connect locally, so I have to do this, and then Atom Connect sees, oh, there is Atom running on this device. So now I just need to ask for access to the data. So if I click authorize, Atom Connect will ask my local Atom node, hey, can I have access? And then this pops up asking the user, there is something called Flux. It wants to have read, write, and update access to your data, to all Atom data. Say confirm. And then I need to do this little handshake here to really make sure that this UI is the one that will gain access. And then you see that it already has read out the username I put in earlier. I could now add some more data, like uploading an image. Can do this later. Just hit create user, and then now I'm onboarded to Flux. There is a public testing community that we have set up. I will not join this now for the sake of this demo. Just a quick word, there's another pop-up in Atom, which is about notifications. So Atom also has a notification and push notification system, which we also use for the upcoming Flux mobile app, so that if you would be mentioned, then the local Atom node would push it to a server, which will push it to the Google or Apple notification services, so your phone can get a push notification, or just also Atom would show you a desktop notification. So here I click confirm and say, yes, I want that. And then I will just close Atom for now. And so Flux greets me with my profile page, where I could also maybe set a new image and a bio and so on. But what I will do now is I will go straight to this left bar, which shows me all the communities I'm in, which is empty right now. It's just a plus button. So here I can create new communities, or I can join communities, or also join the testing community. So I will create a new one, call it Demo Tuesday. I could also give it an image and a description. Just one quick word. For the strategy, here I can select the sharing strategy for that neighborhood. We currently only have one, a Holochain based one. You could write, and we did have a centralized version in the past, but Holochain is working so well that we don't need it anymore. But every neighborhood can pick its own strategy. So when I hit create, it actually takes our Holochain code, clones it, and creates a new network, a new Holochain DHT just for this neighborhood. And so this is what's happening in the background. This takes, a couple of seconds. There we go. And now I can go ahead. I have an empty community. I could create channels, but first I will click this plus button to invite on the members portion here. I could click plus to copy paste the neighborhood URL and go to Jitsi so I can share it with James. See, we did this before. Now this is a new community. And then I will go back to Flux and wait for James to join the community. And in the meantime, I will create a new channel. So, and if you have used Flux before, you maybe know about the channels and our views. We have a couple of new ones, and especially the Synergy view is the one we want to show you. But basically, in Flux, you can have channels. I can create a general channel and then select the different views, like the chat view, our new Synergy view, and let's also pick the graph view to start with, and then hit create. And there we go. We see James. It didn't really load the view, so I just hit a quick reload here. And okay, now we see the views. And James already has sent a message. Hello, James. And what we also see is, he's joining the call. We already see this here. His icon is in the channel, so he is in the Synergy view. We see our chat again, and we have this call plugin. I will go full screen and join the room. I will also turn on my camera. Hey.
Hey.
Hi, James. Cool. So one new thing you see here is everything I'm saying. Oh, and I do have a bit of a echo. I think this is from Jitsi. I guess now we can exit Jitsi, right? Let's just close that call. So people see this is all happening in Flux.
Yeah, it looks like I managed to transcribe your text. I think that was because we had Jitsi open.
Right. Okay. So, so yeah, one of the awesome new features you see here is transcription. So this is happening locally. This is the Whisper model running in Atom that's taking everything we say and turning it into a chat message. You see this preview, and once it's final, it pops up as a message here. And what already happened now while I was talking about the transcription is James' node was taking these messages and using the LLM to create a summary. So what the synergy view here is doing, it's showing this in a subway line style diagram, the conversation or the messages we put in are grouped by conversations and subgroupings. I'm just waiting so it transcribes this. Maybe James, you can jump in. So we just get a few more messages so people can see what's happening here when we have lots of messages.
Yeah, so we've kind of designed this to try and make it as intuitive and useful as possible, but there's a lot of different aspects to the design that we could also play around with in the future. So as Nico was saying, as people talk, we're generating a conversation grouping, and then within that we have subgroups for different topics that are explored within the conversation, and then nested within those you actually have the chat messages themselves. And then as the processing happens, as well as nesting things into these groupings, we're also using the LLM to basically identify different topics that were discussed, and it stores those as little topic tags. And we're also generating vector embeddings. So this is a way of kind of allowing us to actually do search based on similarity without having to search for specific string matches, but actually just similar or close distance in the vector space. So is it worth me sharing screen now? I mean, we could.
I think we should maybe
to jump between.
I think we should maybe create a few more groupings here.
Sure.
We can also, so everything we say is being transcribed, but we could also just jump in here and just add a chat message, just a test. Let's have some more messages to drive our LLM analysis.
All right, it's processing again.
Cool. Okay, so here I see James is processing now. I see what is happening. So I think James is pretty fast because he's actually using ChatGPT. So let's see if we can get I think I should be the next one. So we have a little algorithm here, depending on who said what. It's only the people who are in the call, only the people who have created these messages who will be picked by the algorithm. Because we could have a community with more people, and they might also be online with Adam, but not in the call. So if I just create some more messages, 1, 2, 3, 4. This should now trigger the next set. There we go. And now it's me processing. It should take a bit longer now because I do have an M1 Mac, but only an M1 Mac from 3 years ago. A new NVIDIA graphics card would be faster, for instance. But yeah, this is running locally. Just as a quick proof, I can bring up my activity monitor and just look at the Atom launcher. Oh, okay, 22% GPU is actually not that much. It's not getting so much because of the screen capture right now. But yeah, so
Yeah, I think one of the things that's exciting is we've actually got it working already with local models, even if there's a little bit of delay sometimes, but with the rate at which AI is advancing and the speed of devices, I think this is just within a year or even less than that, it will be getting more and more efficient and quicker. So yeah, I think that's really going to help this kind of tooling as we develop it as well further.
Right. Maybe as we're waiting for this, do you want to create a second channel? Maybe
Sure.
also with some other plugins, and then we can show the matching across channels.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I will leave this call and start a new channel.
Okay, and while that is happening, I also want to quickly show a bit of what's going on under the hood, because so everything we see here in Flux is data that's stored in a knowledge graph. We call it perspectives or neighborhoods. Neighborhoods are just shared versions of these knowledge graphs. I'll actually leave this call so it stops the transcription here. And I can bring up my console. We actually have a CLI client, Atom, which is really just a client. It's everything that our JavaScript library that we use in Flux can do with Atom, this CLI client can do. So for instance, I can ask it about all the perspectives that Atom has. But since it's a client, it now needs the same handshake. So you see Atom popped up and says, hey, there's this Atom CLI that wants access. So I say confirm, and I paste in the code. So now the Atom CLI has access to Atom. And it sees the demo Tuesday perspective with an ID. And I can ask it to print all the data that's in there by just saying query links without anything else. Will give me all the links, the ID of the perspective. So here we now see the knowledge graph with one link per line. What we see here is Prolog code. We call it social DNA. Not going to go into depth about this here now. But what we also see is Flux messages. Here we actually see the message content and more data about the graph structure. And then we also see these embeddings here. This is what we created from the texts, the messages themselves, but also then the groupings we created. They all get these embedding vectors, which we can use to then find other conversations, other messages, posts, anything we add to Flux. Okay, I will now quickly get back to, or maybe just quickly in the graph view. This is a visualization of the graph, a different one. We just saw one in the CLI. This is exactly the same data that we see here, just a different kind of visualization. So now we'll go to the Fireplace channel that James created. Oh, actually, I wonder if he went back because he was waiting for me. Let's see, I will join here. Leave call and join this one. Okay, he's connecting. Hey. Sorry, I took some time to show people the Atom CLI.
Cool. Okay. So I guess, yeah, here you can see I've already started creating a few items. So I created a task item in the Kanban view, created a post, and then there's a few chat messages in here. And this is one of the things that I find quite exciting about Flux is how extendable it is. You can see we've got a bunch of these different views along the top bar. So we've developed a bunch of official views, which are like plugins that provide different functionality for communities. But there's also the option for people to develop their own views independently and to upload those to NPM if they want and make that available to others. So we're really trying to move towards this being kind of like an ecosystem where people can develop different tools that they need for their community, share them with others, and the functionality can evolve without us having to develop all of it ourselves. And you can see in the synergy view that we're actually pulling these different types of posts into one view. And then that can all be included in the processing that we're doing.
Right. Are you transcribing right now? I'm not seeing your your voice coming up here.
No, it's just hit enough items, so probably will start in a sec.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it's started.
Cool.
Yeah, there you go, nice and quick.
Nice. Okay, cool. Connectivity.
So do you want me to share screen and kind of talk through a bit the searching?
Yeah, go ahead.
So you able to see this okay?
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, once you have these this conversation structure generated, you can also expand and collapse stuff, and then you can click on items, and you'll see that we've got these different tags and this synergize button. So the tags are basically where the LLM has identified topics or themes that were discussed in this portion of the conversation. And then you can actually use that to search for similar stuff. So if I click here, introduction, it's by default, it's actually searching outside of the channel. So at the moment, it's not finding any matches in the other channel we created. We don't really have that much content yet. If I click to include the channel, you'll see now that it's finding the conversation itself. So if I could also click on the conversation and search from there, and then it won't find any other conversations, but it will find subgroups. So this is like a basic way of finding, other topic tags, matching topic tags in other conversations that have happened within your perspective. But then we've also got this synergize button, which I think is a bit more interesting, which is using the vector embeddings that are generated by the LLM. So if I click this, it's now actually searching for anything that's got a similarity score that's high enough to be included in the search results for any other items in the different channels that we've got here. So at the moment it's searching for subgroups, but I could also search for conversation matches, or I could search for items, and then you can even go into more fine-grained controls and define the item type that you want to specifically search for. But you can see here in the results that the item that matches, we get this similarity score. So this has been given a 66.8% similarity score. And then as we scroll down, we're also finding other matches. And we're actually showing kind of like the context of the whole conversation here. So you can see the match, but you can also see where it was included. And if you want, you can expand to explore a bit more of the context of where that match is coming from. And one other thing just to reiterate here is that at the moment, we're just doing these searches within a single perspective, but the longer term vision is to expand this with the synergy engine, which will allow people to do these different similarity searches, but across different perspectives. So it enables a kind of decentralized search, and that's something that we're really excited to explore further.
Right. So yeah, let me jump in here first. I want to zoom out and just point out that so what we have here. Let me go back to my view. Okay, cool. So this is completely peer-to-peer, right? So the sharing between James and me is happening through Holochain. We have our own Holochain DHT for this neighborhood. We could invite other members and they would join that network. All the data, this whole graph, I would just go back to this view here. So the knowledge graph that's basically constructed out of all of these messages and everything we do in this neighborhood is shared peer-to-peer over Holochain. And then we use local AI to really make it like an intelligence information platform for communities. So Flux is meant as like this social tooling app. So that's already great. And like James also pointed out, it's really easy to extend with your own views, your own plugins. But also all of this Flux is just one view. So now we could have other apps connecting to Atom. The data is stored in Atom and it's not locked up into that app. The user can use it in other apps. So, but then the new stuff that we just showed with LLM and the synergy view really for us is a stepping stone, a milestone towards the Synergy engine, which is about using this flexibility and interoperability and the fact that we have these knowledge graphs to find data in the network. And the embedding vectors seem like a really interesting and easy first step, even though we could have very complex queries in the Synergy engine, because we use Prolog under the hood to basically describe the matching structure of the graph that we're interested in. The embedding vectors make it easy, for instance, to find other people who in their neighborhoods, even though they are completely, it's distributed, there's no central server, they have conversations in the neighborhoods privately. But now if we click synergize here, and it's not just the local search we have now, but the synergy search later on, they will be able to be pinpointed, and they see, oh, there's somebody who's interested in exactly the same topics we discussed, and they can choose to share with us. That's why we have built this as a first MVP towards the ideas and aspirations we have with the Synergy engine. So, and maybe also then one word with around our partnership with Newcoin and New Foundation. So first of all, I think it's easy to see how this could be like Atom is agent centric. So it's baking the agent, which can be the human user or also an agentic AI, as a base primitive into how everything is structured. We now have these spaces in which we can co-create semantic data. That is what's happening here right now. And it's pretty free. We can go into these different directions and have different views or different semantics, and especially also feedback. So I can just say something that James said here I really like, so I just go and give it a thumbs up. And really, this is just another edge in the graph, right? So you can now invent your own feedback mechanism, your own data structures. It's all just graphs. You can describe them in Prolog and match them and collect them. So I could just get all the thumbs up in this perspective. Or I can do a Synergy engine query to get all the thumbs up on posts that have a similarity score of X. What we really have is a system that easily allows us to integrate data and with the AI integration to jump up some abstraction levels and be on a semantic level in terms of aggregating data and processing data. Cool. James, what else do we want to show? Maybe let me just quickly say a word about the Prolog engine and what we have here right now. This is also a lot of the work we did just in the last months of making this really performant and using the Prolog engine more and more. So basically, Prolog is this this logical programming language where you can do easy inference. You give it facts and it can deduce or it can basically match and tell you how a certain statement becomes true. It's the AI from the 70s. So the way we use it already here in Flux, for everything you see on the screen right now, for the channel list, for the messages, all of that is based on Prolog. Because what we do is we describe the data in Prolog. We say a message is something that looks like this in the graph. A channel is something that is a node in the graph with things below it. And then we have built a system where we can basically have high-level programming, almost like an object relational mapper, more like an object graph mapper, that uses Prolog to match data and then populate the UI. And the same thing is what we want to use in the Synergy engine to do this matching, not on the local device, but just send the Prolog program to other nodes and have them do the matching and give us the answer if they choose to do so. And combined with knowledge graphs, and then also combined with LLMs, I'm really excited about the power of that system that we're going to build, because we can very easily aggregate, collect, and combine data based on very complex queries and data description. So that's a long message that, okay, I muted so the message finally gets transcribed.
All right.
Okay, James, do you want to show us the new poll view as well?
Sure. We'll share screen here. You see it right again?
Yes.
So yeah, this is just, again, a very basic plugin, but it just demonstrates how easy it is to add new functionality to these communities. So this is just something I whipped up quickly for decision making within a neighborhood. So you can create a poll, and you can add in a title, description. I'm just going to do this quickly for now. Add an answer. Oops. So, and then for each poll, you've kind of got 3 different choices. You could make it a single choice poll, multiple choice, or weighted choice. I'll go with this for now. Create the poll. And might need to refresh.
I lost you there for a sec. Did you reload the page?
Yeah, sorry. I forgot I was sharing screen. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, so you can see, is that showing now? Can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah, so we've got this poll, we've got the ability to weight your answers, and then other people can participate in it. So again, it's pretty basic, but it just shows how easy it is to just design a little bit of functionality and then make that available to other communities in the network. So there's a whole load of other stuff that we could start adding in here, and I think that's, as I was saying earlier, like we're trying to build an ecosystem of tools and encourage other developers to come in with their own ideas. And I think that's one of the things that's really powerful about Adam, is enabling this kind of diversity of experiments, but having an integrating spanning layer that enables these different experiments to actually synergize and work together.
Right. Let me go to the poll as well. Yeah, now I see your answer. I'll also add in something. Yeah, so in some way, breaking it down to just having these knowledge graphs decouples. So in order to build this new poll plugin, you don't need to then ask again the question like, how do I share it? You know, do I use Holochain or I don't know, a centralized implementation? This is something that is a decision that's once done for the neighborhood, and then we just have these different views that display and interact with the knowledge graph, and actually in the times of AI and LLMs, I think it would be really easy for users to in the future to just add the views they want. The main point here is, and this is the agent-centric nature of Adam and the spanning layer, is that the data is stored with the user and they can use it in different ways, and create interoperability between all of these different UIs and apps through the spanning layer, and basically through representing it in graphs. Cool. Did we miss anything we want to show? I think there's so much more, but maybe this is enough for a quick demo of the new stuff we have.
Yeah, that was good.
Cool. All right. So this is live. This is public. You can go to our GitHub repository and download the release candidate. I'm pretty optimistic that this version will be fine, and we want to release it as the proper release maybe in a week or two. But go ahead and try it. You can join the testing community. Just click the button when you start Flux the first time, and maybe you might run into us and we can have a conversation here. And even if not, if you have conversation with others, it will be logged like you see here, and we can respond later on if you have questions. Cool. Anything to add, James?
No, I think that's good.
Cool. All right. Thank you guys for watching. See you on Flux soon. Bye-bye.